Dear Mr. Stu, the other day my child had a huge meltdown just over putting on shoes, and I didn't know how to handle it. Why do they react this way over little things, and how can I help them during these moments? Great question, is one that comes up all the time. And the big thing to know is meltdowns or tantrums or big reactions can happen for a lot of different reasons. But most of the time, it comes down to stress, where the child is just stressed out and they're feeling overwhelmed. And the other side of it is that what may seem small to you might not be small to them. You said it was over them putting on their shoes, and you said just over putting on shoes. I don't know if it was the fact that they didn't want to put on their shoes or if they had their shoes on and they didn't know how to tie them. Let's think of both of those scenarios. If it was just they didn't want to put on their shoes, it could be that they were thinking, anytime I put on shoes, I have to go to this place that I don't want to go to and all this. And they were thinking about all the steps ahead. So it wasn't just about putting on the shoes. It was a big deal to them. Or if it was about them putting on their shoes and not knowing how to tie it, it could be that they were feeling stress and overwhelm and embarrassment because they don't yet know how to tie their shoes. And maybe they've been at school and their shoe came untied and they had to ask the teacher and somebody made fun of them and it turned into this big thing. Do you see how something that seems small to us can seem very large to a child? So know that there's some stress and some overwhelm, and what may seem small to you might not be so small if you were inside of their mind. But the number one thing you can do is stay calm. Even when they are screaming and saying, I don't want to put my shoes on. How dare you tell me to put on my shoes? And they're doing the most, just going all out. If you will stay calm, that is the best thing that can help them. If you start screaming at them and raising your voice and making demands and just talking faster and getting louder and saying lots of things all at the same time, that adds on more stress and more overwhelm for them. It doesn't help them calm down. So if you can stay calm, let's say they're yelling and screaming and saying, I don't want to put my shoes on. You can't make me put on my shoes. You can look at them and go, I know, sometimes you don't want to put on your shoes, but you got to put your shoes on. I don't want to put my shoes on. I know, sometimes you don't want to put on your shoes, but you got to put your shoes on. And if you will stay calm, what that does is it sends a message to your child's brain. Children's brains and their caregivers' brains are actually in communication without words. And if a caregiver can stay calm when a child is feeling out of control, it sends the message to the child's brain that, hey, what I thought was scary and dangerous and overwhelming and too much to handle must not be that way because they are staying so calm right now. If you get big and animated and start to yell and scream and demand and all that, then what it sends the message to your child's brain is this is something that deserves a large reaction because they are giving a large reaction. If we keep our reaction small when their reaction is big, then it helps their brain see that their reaction is actually out of proportion. We can't match their energy. We have to put out the energy that we want them to be showing, and then they can match ours. Remember, you are the adult in this situation. So it's not about making demands of what the child should do. It's about showing the child how you want them to be. So if they're having this big reaction, you keep yours really low and theirs can start to come down. If theirs is big and yours is big, then they're going to go even bigger. And then you're going to feel like you got to go even bigger. And then you're going to just keep going until one of you falls asleep. But if they go big and you go low, then their brain will be like, whoa, I thought we were going to have to do that, but I guess we don't. I guess we can come all the way back down here. And that is something that you can do when your child seems to have a big reaction. So to break it all down, keep in mind your child is likely feeling some stress and some overwhelm. So take a deep breath, help them. And then also, it might seem small to you, but it could be bigger to them than it seems to you. And finally, you stay calm when they have this big, huge reaction, and that will help them come down. Don't match their energy. Put out the energy you want them to match, and then they'll be able to do it. Hopefully that was helpful. If it was, make sure that you like and subscribe to this video, especially if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure that you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the mental health fun tips and tricks here that I've got for you. Thanks so much for that question.